Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this design right here on the Alpha Loom. So this design here, as far as I know, is my own original design, and I'm calling it the Summer Fireworks design. This design is really good for this month because if you live in the US, it is the 4th of July in a couple of days, and this is the bracelet you could make for that holiday. Or anyway, so to make this design, you will need an Alpha Loom, you will need your Alpha Comb, and you will also need a hook. Now if you do not have your Alpha Comb, you can always just use an ordinary hook, but you probably will need to use the pause button a lot in this video, because I'll be using the Alpha Comb. Alright. You'll also need clips. You'll need 7 clips, preferably C clips, because that's what came with the Alpha Loom, of course. And you're also going to need rubber bands, and there are 3 different groups, the A, B, and C group. I'll go ahead and explain what they are. So the A bands, they are going to be the actual fireworks, so you can use as many different colors as you would like. I'm only going to be showing you how to make the fireworks only once, so I'm just going to be using 2 different colors for one firework. Then the B rubber bands, they are the background, and they'll most likely be black for most people, and they're, well, the black background here in the design. Then the C rubber bands, they are connector rubber bands, and you probably won't see these, but they are going to be the rubber bands that hold all 7 rows of the chains, all the single chains together. So they're what holds everything you put on here together. Alright, so to make this design you will need to know, or any Alpha Loom design, you will need to know how many rubber bands you need to go all the way around your wrist, unless you want to make this just a little picture thing, like a mural or something. And here's just a little thing I just kind of colored in. The design is 11 rubber bands long, and I'm going to be using regular rubber bands, and for me, 35 just regular old rubber bands, not the smaller Alpha Loom bands, will go all the way around my wrist. And as well, if you divide 35 by 11, it doesn't come out to a whole number. You'll have some extra, or I will at least have extra bands left over. So you may end up needing to have just this extra black or this extra background here. So say you need, like I do, 35 rubber bands to go all the way around your wrist. You're going to end up with 2 extra little rubber bands left, so you'll just put more black for that. Alright, so anyway, if you would like to download the template, there will be a link to a blog where you can go and download it and print it and all that stuff. But I will have this thing out and be showing you what we're doing in the tutorial. So yeah, I think that's everything I need to say. Go ahead and get the supplies you will need. Use the pause button if you need to, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so you're not going to really need your hook quite yet. So you can just put the regular hook off to the side, but you'll need your Alpha Comb and your Alpha Loom to start. And first we're going to start by placing the cap bands. The cap bands aren't a part of the design, they're just there so you can have, or you can start your bracelet. Alright, so you're going to want to have this little hole here, or the Rainbow Loom words closest to you, and you're going to want to have your Alpha Loom facing one direction the whole time. Yep, I just said that. Alright, anyway. So to start, we're going to place our cap bands. I'm going to be using regular Alpha Loom bands for this. What you're going to do to make a cap band is you're going to take a rubber band, place it on a pin on one side of the Alpha Loom, and stretch it over to the other side. And while doing that, you're going to twist the rubber band. Now you're going to do this for the next pins. So you're going to go up to the next pin. You're going to take a rubber band, place it on one pin on one side, and then stretch it over to the other and twist it while doing so. And I actually have a tip if this is a little bit difficult for you to do, especially here in the middle. What you can do is just take a rubber band, stretch it across just like that, and you can actually take your hook, take one side of the rubber band, take it off that pin, and then just use your hook to twist the rubber band. So that's just if it gets a little bit difficult for you to twist the rubber bands, especially here in the middle. Anyway, you're going to do this for all 7 sets of pins. So they're all going horizontally across the loom, and make sure you have your loom like this. Alright, so now what you can do is take your alpha comb, once you have all 7 cat bands, take this side here, the opposite side of where your hooks are, so you have your 7 hooks, but on the other side there's just this stuff. You can use this side to push all of your bands down. Alright, so there we go. Now it's time to actually start the design, and the pattern for the design starts now. Alright, so to begin, we're going to start here with row 1, or actually column 1. So here underneath the 1. And as you can see here, it's all black, so all background bands. So we're not going to start placing any of those connector bands quite yet. We're just going to get our our background bands. We're going to take 7 of them. We're going to take one, stretch it across this first set of pins here. Something's going on with my voice. Alright, anyway, then you're going to get another background band stretched across the next set of pins, another background band stretched across the next set of pins, and just place all 7 of your background rubber bands. Alright, so once you've done that, you're going to take your alpha comb and loom all of the bottom rubber bands, and they should all be cat bands. Alright, so take your hook comb, just work the bands up and over. And be careful, make sure you don't lose these rubber bands that you just placed, to make sure they stay on the pins. Right, then you'll need to turn your alpha loom around, get the 7 hooks here, grab those bottom bands, and just kind of work them side to side all the way up and over. Once you have loomed all of those bottom rubber bands, make sure your alpha loom is turned back the way so that you have the rainbow loom words in this little hole here closest to you. And then you can use the other side of your alpha comb to push down all the bands. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to column 2. And for this one, so column 2 is right here. So for this row here, all of the bands that you will place are going to be background bands except for one. It's going to be here on the 4th set of pins, so here it'll be here, is going to be a Firework color rubber band. Alright, now we're also going to start placing our connector bands. So you're going to go ahead and get your, so you're going to need 6 background bands, 1 Firework band, and also 1 connector band. You're going to go ahead and place the connector rubber band first. You're going to stretch it across the entire side of your alpha loom. So one side, and you're going to stretch it across all 7 pins. So this will be your clear rubber band. And from now on, you're always going to place a connector band before you place any more bands, or rubber bands, so yeah. So make sure you place your connector band, doesn't matter which side. Now you're going to go ahead and place your 6 background color bands and your 1 firework rubber band. So here is column 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and try to place these bands. Okay, this is not going to work. There we go. So, all rows except for the very middle row are going to be your background bands. My hand's going to get in the way a little bit. Hopefully you can see the design. It's not really glary because it doesn't look very good on my camera. Okay, anyway, shush. Alright, so I've placed my 6 background bands. You're going to go ahead and take your firework band and place it here on this middle row. Alright. So once you have placed those bands, you're going to go ahead, take your alpha comb. You're first going to loom this connector band, which we placed first. So you can take one little hook and just pull it up and over. And now what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your alpha comb and just loom all of the bottom rubber bands, and they should all be background bands. So this is column 1 that we're looming. So the one row with all black here. Alright. So anyway, just grab them all. Just working them all the way up. There you go. Make sure you turn your Alpha Loom around and do the other side. All the bands up. There we go. Then make sure you only have 1 rubber band on all 14 pins here. Make sure you have your Alpha Loom turned around so that you have the rainbow loom words and the little hole here closest to you, and now you can use the other side of your alpha comb to push down all of the bands. So there you go. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next row. So, or column, gosh, I keep saying row. Alright, so now we're in column 3. And for this column here, you're going to need 3 fireworks bands and 4 background bands. Alright, hold on. You'll also, of course, need your connector band. So we're in here in column 3. Alright, so anyway, first we're going to place our connector band. We're just going to stretch it across one side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins on one side. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place our 3 fireworks bands and our 4 background bands. So let me just hold this back here. Actually, so here on the top, we're going to have a firework band. And here, we're going to have a background band. And here we're going to have another background band. Actually, let me turn my loom like this. And we're going to have a firework band here in the middle. And 2 more background bands. And then a firework band here at the beginning. Alright, so you should have something like this on your Alpha Loom. I'm going to go ahead and get this little cup here. Use that. Gotta figure something else. Figure something else out for this thing. Alright. Here we go. There we go. Alright, so now you should have something like this on your Alpha Loom. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and loom all the bands. Alright, so take your alpha comb. You're going to first loom that connector band. So just take one little hook on there, Just pull the whole thing up. And now you're going to loom all of the bottom rubber bands. Alright, so to do that, just going to take your alpha comb, just grab all of them, work them up. Alright, this is not working. Alright, then you make sure you do the other side. Take the alpha comb, grab all those bottom bands, and then bring them all up. Then, once you've done that, make sure you have the Alpha Loom so that the rainbow loom words are facing towards you, and so is this little hole here. And then you can use the other side of your alpha comb and just push all these bands down. Alright, so that was column 3 there. Now we're going to move on to column 4. And for this column, we're going to need 2 fireworks bands and 5 background bands. Alright, so 2 firework bands and 5 background bands. And then of course you will also need your connector band. Alright, I have an idea for this thing. There we go. Alright, so here's the little template here back in the back. Off to the side. Alright, so first we're going to place our connector band, of course, just on one side of the Alpha Loom. And we're going to go ahead and just all 7 pins there. Now we're going to place row 4, or column 4, which is right here with the 2 fireworks bands. Alright, so first it's just a regular background band, and it's a firework band. Then this one's all twisted up, there we go. And I'm gonna place 3 background bands. Then a firework band, and then another background band. So there we go. Alright, so now what we're going to do, once you've placed all those bands, it's now time to loom. So we don't, oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way. Alright, so what you're going to do now, is you're going to take your alpha comb, just loom this connector band first. Pull that over. Now you're going to grab all the bottom bands, so loom all of your bottom bands. You're just going to grab them all, just going to work them side to side, bring them all up. Then you'll need to turn your alpha loom around so you can grab these other bands on the other side. Alright, oh, I'm grabbing another, that's not what I want. Alright, here we go. And it looks like I forgot a band right there. Yeah, be careful when you're looming. Make sure you always end up with 1 rubber band left on all the pins. Right, make sure you have your Alpha Loom turned back the way it was with the rainbow loom words and that stuff. Alright, so now you're going to take your alpha comb, push all the bands down. And there you go. Now it's time for column 5. Alright, slowly making our way through this thing. Alright, so here on column 5, we're going to need 1 firework band and 6 background bands. That's only 4. There we go. Then of course, don't forget your connector band. Oops. There we go. So we're in column 5 now. Alright, so to start, we're going to go ahead, take our connector band, place it going across one, or just going all the way down one side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins. I did not push these other bands down very well. Alright, whatever. Now we're going to go ahead and place these bands here in column 5. So first it's background band, background band, background band. There's 3 of those. Then in the very center you have your firework band. And then the last 3 are all background. Alright. So I'll just go ahead and show you column 5 for a little bit longer. And I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, loom the bands again, same way we've been doing this entire time. Nothing changes when you loom these bands. You just grab the connector band, pull it over, and then you loom all of the bottom rubber bands. So you just take it, grab all those bands, move from side to side to get them all the way up there, and turn your Alpha Loom around. Grab all those bottom bands, and then pull them all up. Alright, then make sure you have the Rainbow Loom words closest to you, same for this little whole thing here. And you're just going to take the other side of your alpha comb and just push all those bands down that are left. Alright, now we're in column 6, which is the very center here. So this is the one with all those, with the most red bands, or not red, the most firework bands. Alright. So you're going to need 5 firework bands and 2 background bands. And of course, don't forget your connector band. Alright. So, to start, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a connector band first, just place it going on one side. Now we're going to go ahead and do this pattern here that's in the 6th column. It's this one with all these red squares, so this one really right here in the middle. So first we're going to start off with a firework band. Then a background band, then a firework band, another firework band, another firework band, then a background band, and then a firework band. Alright, so that was down the center here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loom. So I'll go ahead and okay. I'm going to get rid of this here. Just use the pause button if you need to. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and loom the bands. So same as always, just grab the connector band, pull it over, grab the bottom bands, so grab all of them, and then just pull them all up. Gonna do the other side. Grab all those bottom bands there. And then alright, and once you've done that, you'll need to make sure you turn your Alpha Loom back around so you have the Rainbow Loom words closest to you, and then you can push all these bands on your loom down with the other side of your alpha comb. Alright, I need to grab something real quick. Alright, there we go. Alright, I had to grab some more bands because I didn't get enough for some reason. Alright, so that was column 6 there. Now we are on column 7, which is the exact same as column 5. So, this column right here. Alright, so for this column here, we're going to need 1 firework band and 6 background bands. Alright, there we go. Alright, so for this column, what we do... Oh, we're also going to need our connector band, almost forgot. Alright, so what we're going to do, just take the connector band, stretch across one side. Then, we're going to go ahead and follow the template for column 7. So this one right here. So, first it's 3 background bands. Then you're going to get a firework band for the very center row. And then 3 more background bands. Oh, one of them just ran away. Okay. There we go. Here's just a closer look. Column 7. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take this off the screen. Alright, now it's time to loom. Looming is still the same. Take your alpha comb, grab this connector band, just pull it over. Now you're going to loom all of your bottom rubber bands. Right, just take your comb, go underneath all those bands, make sure you grab them all the bottom ones at least, and then, oop, okay, and then just move them side to side and pull them all over, or up, and then do the other side, and then push all of your bands down. And make sure you have your Alpha Loom turned back the way it was before with the Rainbow Loom words closest to you. Right, so as you can see here, the design is materializing. It's here, and it's starting to form. Just trying to find the words. Alright, so now, so actually you can see it now. Alright, so now we're on to column 8. And column 8 is the exact same as column 4. So, it's right here. You're going to need 2 fireworks bands and 5 background bands. Alrighty. It's nice to be on camera. Alright, you'll also need your connector band, and let's go. Right, so first you're going to start with your connector band, stretch it across. So stretch it all the way down one side your Alpha Loom. Then you're going to go ahead and follow the pattern for column 8, which is right here. Alright, so first it's a background band. Then you have a firework band. And then 3 more background bands here in the middle. Oh. And another firework band. And then lastly a background band. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off the screen. If you need to see it, use the pause button. Alright, now it's time to loom. Get your alpha comb. Do the same thing you've always been doing this entire time. Grab the connector band, pull it up and over. Then use your alpha comb and grab all the bottom bands. So we're doing all the bottom bands. Okay, camera's being weird. Alright, so you're just going to grab all of them. And then move them side to side to get them up there. And turn your Alpha Loom around. Grab all the other bottom bands are on this side. Alright, then make sure you turn your Alpha Loom around, Rainbow Loom words closest to you, push your bands down. Oh, someone just texted me, really? Okay, anyway, there you go. That was column 8. Alright, so now we're on the next column, which is column 9. We're almost finished. Alright, so column 9 is right here. And for it, you're going to need 3 fireworks bands and 4 background bands. Alright, and also don't forget your connector band. Alright, so just like before, take your connector band, stretch it all the way across one side of the Alpha Loom. Now we're going to follow the pattern for column 9. Okay, so first we're going to start off at the top here with a firework band. Then there's 2 background bands. Then you get another firework band for the very center row. And then your last 2 background bands. And then lastly, a firework band. Alright, so here's just a closer look. Column 9 is right here. I'm going to go ahead and take it off the screen. Use the pause button if you still need to look at it. Alright. Now it's time to loom again. So we're just going to go ahead, take our alpha comb, pull over that connector band, then loom all of your bottom rubber bands. So right, so there you go. Do the other side. Then make sure you have the Rainbow Loom words closest to you, facing towards you. Take your other side of the alpha comb and just push all these bands down. I almost thought I lost the rubber band right there. I couldn't see it. Alright, anyway. Okay, so you can already see the pattern more. And I am using just single rubber bands. This would probably look better with doubled, but anyway. Now we are on column 10. So column 10 is right here. This is the last column, last part of this little section that needs a firework band. So you're going to need 6 background bands, 1 firework band, and of course a connector band. Alright, so there we go. So, like always, you're going to place your connector band going all the way down just one side of your alpha loom, and now we're going to follow the pattern for column 10, which is this last one, and is or not the last one, but yeah, the last one that has a firework band in it, and is the exact same as column 2. So, it's right here. Alright, so to start, I'm just going to place 3 background bands, starting from the top. Then in the very center, you're going to place a firework band, and then 3 background bands. Right, so here's a closer look at column 10. It's this one right here. Right, I'm going to go ahead and take it off the screen. Use the pause button if you need to still look at it. Alright. Now it's time to loom again. So, get your alpha comb. Loom over first the connector band. Then you're going to loom all of the bottom rubber bands on both sides. So use your alpha comb, the bottom bands here, pull them, moving them side to side, up and over. Make sure you turn your Alpha Loom around to get the other side. There we go. Pull them up and over. And once you've done that, make sure you have the Rainbow Loom words facing towards you. And you're going to take your alpha comb the other side, and you're just going to push all these bands down. Alright, so there we go. Now we're here on the last row, or column, for the design. So, this is column 11, it's the very last one. It's the exact same as the very first one we placed, and it is just all background rubber bands. So you just need 7 background bands, and 1 more connector band. Alright. So, take a connector band first, stretch it across one side of the Alpha Loom, all 7 pins, of course. Then, you're just going to place your 7 background bands going from one pin on one side of the Alpha Loom to the pin right straight across from it. Do that for all 7 sets of pins. Alright, I'll still show you if you need to get a look at what the last row is. It's just right here. So this last row with all that black is right there. And yeah, so I'm taking it off the screen now. Oh, okay. Right, now we're looming for the last time. Okay, yeah, I keep dropping everything. So you're going to go ahead, take your alpha comb, loom the connector band up and over first. Then you're going to loom all the bottom rubber bands on both sides of your Alpha Loom. So just going to grab all 7 bands here and move them side to side, bringing them up and over. Then you'll want to turn your Alpha Loom around. Do the same thing on the other side. Grab all those bottom bands and then pull them all up and over. Then make sure you have the Rainbow Loom words closest to you once again. They're facing you. Take the other side of your alpha comb, push all the bands down. Alright. So now we have finished one section of the Fireworks pattern for the Alpha Loom design, Summer Fireworks. So that is just one firework. What you would do now is, if you're making this a bracelet, you're going to continue this pattern over and over until you have made the bracelet long enough to fit around your wrist, and hopefully you already know how many bands you need to make the whole thing go around your wrist. And if you're like me and you need 35 just regular bands. If you need 35 rubber bands, but you'll end up with extra, so like you'll have 2 extra bands left. Instead of trying to continue the firework pattern, just put background bands instead. So I'll show you here with this picture. So like here in this picture, they had extra rows left over. They had 4. So instead of trying to start another firework, they just made it all background bands. And that person was me. Alright. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you finish this thing off. use the pause button so that you can finish making your bracelet or whatever you're going to make this. And yeah. So, to finish this thing off, you're going... Here, let me just hold up the pattern for another second. Alright, so here's the pattern. If you need it, use the pause button if you need to. But then I'm going to show you how to finish the bracelet off, so... Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to finish this thing off. You're going to need everything on your Alpha Loom. You're going to need just a regular old hook. And you're going to need your 7 clips. Alright, so first you're going to need your hook. What you're going to do with your hook is you're going to grab, so you're going to start down here at the bottom. You're going to grab one side of a rubber band. You're going to pull it off of the pin. Don't take it off of your hook though. You're going to take it and bring it over to the other side of this rubber band. Like that. Then you'll go up to the next set of pins. You'll grab one side. Preferably the same side you did before. So take it, grab it with your hook, pull it off the pin. Keep it on your hook though. And then bring it over to the other side of the rubber band, which is just the other pin. Then you'll do it again to the next set of pins. And yeah, you'll just do this for all 7 sets of pins. And, well, yeah, that's it. Alright, so now on your Alpha Loom, you should have no rubber bands on one side, and on the other side, you should have all of your rubber bands there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 7 clips, and we're going to take one clip, and we're going to attach it to 2, or just to all the rubber bands on one pin. Take another clip, attach it to all the rubber bands on another pin. Take another clip, attach it to all the rubber bands on another pin, and so on. So you'll do this for all 7 pins and clips. Alright, there you go. So once you have all 7 clips on all the rubber bands on all 7 pins, you can just go ahead and just pull the bands off. You can use your hook or you can just use your fingers. Just slide the bands off. And make sure that you had all your clips on the bands because you don't want to lose your... Oh, and one just came undone. So you don't want to lose your bracelet or whatever you're making this. Right, there we go. Wow, this looks terrible in regular rubber bands. I'm gonna have to try something different. Alright, anyway. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to take these 7 clips and attach them to these 7 cap bands we placed earlier. So it's just these circular rubber bands here. Just going to go ahead, just take a clip and attach it to a cap band so that so it's not all crossing over or anything. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Let me just use a pen. Alright, anyway. So you get the idea. So you'll have your bracelet or whatever you want it to be. So if you didn't want it to be a bracelet, then you don't have to attach to the cat bands, of course. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So now it is time for the outro. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make the firework pattern, or the summer fireworks pattern, successfully as a bracelet or as just a little design you're making, like maybe a keychain thing. But yeah, the one I made is pretty ugly. I think this would look better with double rubber bands. I'll definitely try that. But anyway, if you would like to download the template for this, so instead of having, or any future templates for other designs that I'm going to have tutorials for, so instead of me instead of me showing you this and having to take it off the screen all the time and always having to use the pause button, you can download the templates and print them on a website, and there will be a link to that website in the description. And yeah, also I apologize for this tutorial being long. This is my first Alpha Loom tutorial, and hopefully my future ones will be a lot shorter. But anyway, hopefully now you have your design, and I have mine now. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, other than thanks for watching, and bye!